Is our future. Yes, we are here together with our special Emuna weekly class with real eternal Torah. We are tuning in to a special holy time in the calendar. Yes, see, we're live on all the different platforms. Exciting. We are Kabbalah's Torah. We are getting ready for Shavuos. Shavuos Chag Ba'aleinu L'Tova is special Matan Torah, a gift, the best gift. People talk about the gift, the secret, all these special things. There's no bigger gift than having the creator of the world communicate directly to you right now in every way, in the most intense level, to understand your purpose, your mission, your soul, to know yourself, to know what you're here for, to know what we're supposed to learn, how to go ahead in life, how to decide your business, your family, your friends, your communication. Every single aspect of life is coming together right now. Yes, you lovely people, you have the opportunity to join us on this weekly gift. And all you have to do is just be here and smile, as it says on the cushion right next to me, because I'm at home. I'm not in the studio in Yerushalayim. I'm at home. I'm at home because I believe the best way to prepare for Shavuot, the Chag Matan Torah, to prepare for this special gifted time of the gift of Torah, of the festival. I don't know what they call it in English. I don't know. You guys have to give me some feedback. Let me know the English terminology for this festival, how it comes down in some of these funny websites or English sites. But for us here, right now, we are in our homes because bringing the Torah into our nefesh, into our heart level, into our being, this is the purpose of this Emuna class. I apologize for starting a little bit late, but I had to get the place ready. Plus, I didn't have my studio team with me, so I had to kindly ask my family. There's a lot going on at home. Erev Chag, we're just before the time, so there's a lot of dancing going on with my daughter and friends, and there's a lot of energy with the boys. Everyone's getting excited for this special climax to the 49 days we've been counting together, this sphere of days. Every week we've been having our Emuna class, other than Pesach itself. Ba'aleinu L'Tova comes to Shavuos, the climax of the night of Seder night, with the climax of 49 days counted slowly, as we mentioned in the Be Here Now class with Ari Lesser and with Diane Elgod. We mentioned the concept of being present, and please, we're going to continue that conversation after the Chag with Dr. Benjamin Epstein, Ben Epstein. He's going to join us, PhD in the house, hopefully with a living presence focus. Then we hope to have Rudy Rochman. Exciting. Shalom from Indonesia. Wow. Yes. Everyone drop in the comments where you're at, because this will not be going on our website. Unlike if you go into the description, we've got some great classes that have gone up on the website. The Be Here Now has just gone live on our website. Special class that I gave, thank God, as well as the Ari Lesser. And please God, we'll be posting this week before Shabbos and Parshas Naso. We're in the Holy Land. We'll be posting the class of Shefa, this big Shefa that came down in the Holy Land in Yerushalayim. We had the first time hosting pleasure of bringing Rabbi Shalom Leibovitz and his brothers, Levi, I believe, and Shlomo. I think they have more names than that. Yeah, let me try. Shalom Menachem, I think. Shalom Yeshua, Shlomo Menachem, Levi, something like that. Okay. I don't remember all their full names, but the point is those three Leibovitz brothers and Simcha Eckhaus came into the studio, and we had a full band, and that special edition of the Shem Yichud, yes, for the sake of unification, which is perfect for this time of year, with the Shavuos, the big unification that takes with big Hashgacha Elyona. So we're talking real Torah here, eternal Torah here, and these are the concepts that are eternal, that are real for us in our everyday life. That's why I'm at home, bringing it into the home, bringing it into our family, bringing the light of Shavuos. It's not enough for us to do these high things. I've been listening to different classes about preparing for Shavuot, and there's a lot of energy. Here we go. Shalom, Rabbi from Indonesia also. Yes, another friend of ours. Shalom Yom Yo. Baruch Hashem. People, comment. Make it Lebedik. Thank God this class goes global. Like we want everything we're doing. And please God, we're having a little bit of a challenge getting this week's Emuna class out to the world. So we're going to please God daven that before Shavuos it will be fixed, and then hopefully we'll go out to our usual numbers of 20, 30, 40, 50,000. Some of our classes 60,000, and we'd love to get these YouTube classes growing bigger. Right now they're getting into the hundreds, sometimes to the thousands, but we need to get to the tens and hundreds of thousands, not because of ego or anything or point we're trying to keep point, but the point is because to know that we are going global. Kabbalas Torah wasn't just for me sitting in my home or sitting in the studio in Jerusalem or sitting by the holy rabbis. Real Torah, eternal Torah, was for the whole world. The whole point was that Hashem put into our souls, into our nefesh, into our being, into our hearts. All of it was on our hearts, but the whole point is into our hearts. It should be chokek alibech. It should go inside our being and make a difference in how we talk and how we act and how we portray ourselves, how we script our life, how we envision the future of the world. There's so much turmoil right now. Historically, has never been such a difficult time on an emotional level. The mental well-being of humanity is in a great risk, and I mean there's a whole opioid crisis that very much is not talked about, but unfortunately is impacting people's lives in a real way. And there's a whole, all these epidemic crisis. I call it a crisis of the epidemics, causing such insecurity and lack of ability to get around. I just got my confirmation of, please God, in June I'll be in Amsterdam, the end of June. Very excited to go there, but unfortunately some people can't join me because of still some rules that exist. Thank God some yes, but some not. So it's amazing to see there's still rules. I can't believe it. That at this point, when it's been so, normalized and part of life, that they're still trying to impact people's ability to enter countries and get around. And I think it's ridiculous, honestly. And I'll say that very strongly. And I think by now, we should have had all these rules moved. So everyone needs to keep praying and davening. Shavuot this week. Shemas HaChaseinu was a big time this week. Yes, Rav Shalom, good question. Everyone's asking about Rav Shalom Morish Shlita, Rav Shalom Ben Yemna. We dedicate our class to his full recovery. We need his holy words to come and impact us. I had the pleasure to sit, or actually I stood, but he was sitting and giving over a class between Mincha and Maariv on one of the nights of Sphira counting this Sunday, I think, after our Emuna class. He gave a class for the team because he gives his own class live in Hebrew and Lashon Kodesh. Unfortunately, he's not able to do in other languages at this point, and that's part of the challenge. His health is good, but his speaking is very difficult. So we need to pray that his mouth be free. The Cheres, Pesach is a time where the mouth needs to be open, and Shavuos is that completion, as we mentioned before, the completion of Pesach. As the Ramban says, this is the Chol HaMoed days, the intermediary days between Pesach and Shavuos, and we come to the climax, like the Aseres. We come to that completion of this time, and we thank God, make a Shechianu. We thank Hashem for the Torah. We thank Hashem for the cheesecake, for the opportunity to thank Him and enjoy this world in a holy way, in a way that's elevated, in a way that's, as we mentioned before, L'Shem Yichud, that it's unified. And that's the United Souls. Go into the description. You can subscribe there. I'm talking again and again about this United Soul experience, that we're all souls and we're all connected. And Rav Arush himself is influencing us. Whether he's able to speak fully, he's able to pray for everyone, and he's able to, thank God, keep putting out books. We're hoping and davening for the Love of All People book. We need it for our time to bring more unity in the world, bring more togetherness. There's nothing more real than coming to Shavuos and realizing, as much as we need to learn and hopefully if we have the strength to stay up. Me personally, I'll give you over what my Rebbe says, the Torah Rebbe. He comes, he has a tish, and we go after our meal with our family, and we take a bunch of the boys to the tish, and the tish is with fruits and singing. It's very, very elevating and uplifting. Personally, I try to do the Tikkun, Leil Shavuos, I try to read it quick, as much as I can, at least all the Torah part, and if I can go ahead into other parts, I try. Also the Tanakh part, go through the whole of the Tikkun Shavuos, and while they're having a beautiful tish, and then we go downstairs and learn B'chavrusa. We learn together in shul, and at 2:30 on the dot, the Rebbe goes around 2:30 a.m. and tells everybody, go to bed. Good night. That's it. Everyone needs to leave the shul. He goes as well. Make sure everyone goes, and that's it. That's the end of the learning seder, and we all go have a nice shluf. So we're not like crazy in the morning and not crazy in the davening. We're actually with Yishuv Adas, everyone according to their custom. Big respect to those who can stay up and then do nates and pray like the Baal Shem Tov HaKodesh and Rabbi Nachman ben Fega and all the Tzaddikim. But for me personally, it works by the time the Rebbe, I'm somech on a tzaddik, on a all the way basically to David Tolner, all the way back to Mordechai of Chernobyl, all the way back to Moronayim, all the way who's Rav Menachem of Chernobyl, and then all the way he was a Talmud of the Baal Shem. So we have a Messiah this way through the Talmud Rebbe to go and rest, Baruch Hashem. So we have Koyach for Flam Fire Shavuos on the first day of Yom Tov. For us, it's only one day here in the Holy Land. This Sunday will be Motzi Shabbos and Sunday, and that will bring together the Shabbos Naso. Naso is a happy parsha that has more psukim, more I don't know how to say in English again, more lines of Torah than any other parsha in the whole Torah. It's 176, which is the same amount of psukim that we have also in Tehillim. Kuf Yud Tes, made a joke with Barry Lesser. Can you memorize that Psalm 119? It'd be amazing. We'd love to hear it from him. He said he's working on it. It's a work in process. 176 lines of Psalms there, and connected to this week's Parsha, and also connected to the biggest Gemara, the biggest Masechta and Talmud of Baba Basra. Yeah, 176, which is a holy, yes, my wife heard the Kol Isha. Please, the Kol Torah, to take with us this energy. So what's real about the Torah? The Torah is talking to us, communicating right now. And once again, we're trying to tune ourselves into unification. So we have the biggest parsha just before we go into Shavuos to connect ourselves to the biggest light. With the Tehillim, there's a minhag to say all of Tehillim, all of Psalms. There's David HaMelech's Hilula, David HaMelech's Chusur Aleinu is his Yotzai, and also the Baal Shem Tov HaKodesh's Yotzai is Chusur Aleinu. And we should have energy for the Kriyas Torah as Esed Dibros, and please God for Rus. We tap into the energy of Rus, the Gioris, the one, the Sedekista, who's able to bring us back, thank God, with Hashem's help, to bring us out of this exile and help us reach that place of connection. That was the Dafkaba, the Rus was the epitome of someone who was searching for God. We see so many people here in our Emuna channels, Emuna platforms, and when we tour, Emuna tours, we have the pleasure to meet all the people of the world, and we see so many souls who are searching for God, who are really thirsting in a deep, deep way, thirsting for their Creator, to realize that that Creator is one, and that unification, and it's always present, be here now, concept of Hashem constantly being with us eternally, and there never really was any divide between us and Hashem, even in the Holocaust, and even in the biggest suffering in the world that's possible, the Aleinu, should never see it again, but because we obviously don't want that experience, but Hashem is with us always. Anochi Basara, Hashem is with us, even in our difficulties, even our sufferings. Hashem is with us in all our pain. Hashem is with us with all our demyonis, our imaginations. Hashem is with us. This is the key of Shavuos. Rabbi Nachman ben Feiga, Rabbi Nachman ben Simcha gave us chizuk. Baruch Hashem. I just saw the Gedalia posted his class, so you can check it out as soon as you finish this one live, or watch it or listen it on the podcast app, so you can listen to him and me and all the other wonderful speakers we have, thank God, on our podcast, as well as Gedalia's podcast, and all our other friends that join us. Gedalia Fence I'm talking about. So we have the ability to tune into unification online right now. There's an energy, a light, a revolution going on of Torah and spirituality. Now, obviously, ideally, we'd love to have ponim b'ponim. That means back in the day, the Rav would be giving shir in front of hundreds of people, will come to you in person and give a full shir with full voice. This is the ideal. When Mashiach comes, or even before, hopefully, we'll have a refuah, the orchos of Mashiach, the light of Mashiach, this returning light before Mashiach comes, just like Shabbos. I want to thank you, Rav Shalom, for doing all these things. Says Shabbat Emuna, that strengthens me many times. So Darabah, that's right. The Rav Shalom, we want him to be able to give over the message. Yes, thank you for giving out feedback. Yes, maybe the Rav will come to Indonesia, you never know. Let's make it happen. I mean, the best thing, come to Jerusalem. It's even easier. Yeah, this is keep it see and taste the Torah with Yerushalayim. The Torah comes out from Yerushalayim, especially the Kabbalas Torah this week. The Torah is coming out from the holiest place, and we see in this week's Parsha the Mishkan, and we see Hashem Shechina, the divine presence coming on all the people. There's an amazing opportunity, all of you, to keep giving feedback, keep giving energy, keep tuning into the oneness of all the tribes. And this week's Parsha, give over their offerings to Hashem, the 12 tribes, and the Kohanim. Please God, they're giving a blessing. The Birkas Kohanim in this week's Parsha. So for those who are tuning in next week in Chutz La'aretz, it will be your Parsha next week, because there's a delay in Parshas. Yeah, for whatever reason, you know, the Chachomim, the Rabbanim, Tzaddikim, the sages, the wise sage decided that the Torah, every psalm would have a delay in the fixed calendar that we have. When Mashiach comes, obviously the calendar will unite somehow, and everything will will hopefully, and as far as I understand, will come back. I mean, there are people who want to have 2 days Yom Tov when Mashiach comes, because it's such a holy opportunity. You have 2 days there outside of Israel. But we have 1 day. And the Chum Sofer says, Mashiach comes, that people are going to they're going to remember those special holy days you had, the second day of Yom Tov, how you showed your dedication to God. Another day of continuing on the light of Shavuos, continuing on the light of Yom Tov, this idea of Yom Tov, and making a Yom Tov the Rabbanan. Every time you finish a section of Torah, so comes Shavuos, and this is a celebration of the Torah. It's not only receiving the Torah and taking on Kabbalahs. Yeah, this is understanding the Kabbalahs have to be real. They have to be very real. To make that eternal effect, it has to make a change in us. It has to be impacting our being, impacting our life. This is the kind of Torah. It's not enough to learn it theoretically and to have a good learning session. For sure, you get the mitzvah Talmud Torah, but it should impact your life. It's not enough for it to be an intellectual experience. It should impact your whole essence. Here, someone wrote, many people have started to interest Judaism, Indonesia, even a Muslim country. Shalom Yisrael. We wish to have peace in the world. That Torah is a path for peace, and we're not trying to, make converts or anything. Even though we do learn about Ruth this week, and it was her soul yearning for Hashem, and she is the great grandmother of David Melech Mashiach. Mashiach comes out from that great yearning, from the conversion of Ruth. But that's not we're not trying to convert. It's just that's one of the great stories of our people, the light, the or Legoyim, the light to the nations. This is one of our missions. And to deny that mission is us failing. And the Muslim world, for sure, gets light from our Torah and light from our path, our people, especially when we're communicating and not fighting. We're able to communicate the path of Torah and see how there's so much common ground, so much principles that are universal for the whole world, especially the Jewish and Muslim world. We're both Abrahamic religions. I don't like being religious, personally. I prefer spiritual or unifying concepts, because religion, it comes from a Greek word which often divides us into a more like ritual life. Someone made a comment, Zubi. I was on a podcast of a guy called Dango. I don't know if you heard of these guys. Zubi is one of these big influencers now who came on Joe Rogan, and his profile blew up the last few years. And he said over there about how people are more religious than ever nowadays with all their lifestyle choices, and I don't know, in all circles, but he doesn't mean religion like the Abrahamic religions. He means religion in their lifestyle, in terms of when they eat, when they sleep, when they drink, their diet, their this, their that, their work. Everyone's very yekish, as they say, very fixed in what they're doing and how and what, and they believe in it like a religion almost. But the point is, I don't want to get into that. I want to get into the light of unification, the light of souls, that we're all unified. We have a Torah that was given to us to unify the world, to bring us together, to bring us clarity, to bring us freedom, true freedom, to bring us a feeling of love and peace in our mind, mental state, and emotional well-being, to give us a feeling of blessing, of shefa, not just a feeling, a reality of shefa, of divine abundance. That was the idea of Shefa Band. They brought believe in yourself. That's what they brought to us. And like we said, we're going to have a special song we're going to put out on our platforms about this Shem Yichud, to bring that unification into reality through music. And we're going to, please God, put the Be Here Now song of A Lesser also on our platform. Because through music, there's a lot of energy that can be transformed and given over to people in a way that they accept in an easy way. That's the power of music. David Melech was Imzmiris Yisrael. He was the sweet singer of Israel. David Melech, he had his kino, his I don't know, violin, but some kind of string instrument that would sing, and the wind would blow, and it would create tremendous songs that he composed the Psalms, and the Psalms are the key to tshuva. So true, we are dreaming there will be many convert from India. I'm not trying to make any converts, brother or sister. We're just trying to get the message out of unification. It doesn't have to be that anyone... Oh, another Indonesian friend. Wow, amazing. You guys, thank God, you're going the full mile, staying up, whichever time it is there. You have to tell me. I don't know. I can Google it, but I'm doing a class right now. So I'm sure it's in different times here. Right now we're in the afternoon, and it's Rosh Chodesh. That's why I have to remember to wish you all a beautiful Chodesh. Everyone should be blessed with a new beginning, Chodesh Sivan. The month of Sivan is, we already spoke about a few weeks ago. You can go back about the idea of twins. It's the muzzle of Tu'umin, of twins. bringing together the Shnei Luchas. The Shnei Luchas are the two tablets that we get, not the tablets that I'm looking and seeing the class on over here, but the holy tablets that were made miraculously and given by Hashem to Moshe, and were there hopefully for eternity. Obviously, two of the first Luchas, the first tablets, were broken. We have to break our tablets when we're addicted to them. God forbid. To hopefully wake ourselves up. That what we get from Shavuos shouldn't just be a passing experience. That's the whole key. That we're going to go out Shavuos, and then what's going to happen? Comes the summer months, comes the lead up to the 3 weeks, a challenging time, a time of difficulty, a time of spiritual challenges and emotional and physical nowadays. Everything's being challenged nowadays. And we have the opportunity. What did we get from the Torah, from Shavuos? Did we remember those messages? Did we internalize them? Did it become Zichru Torahs Moshe? Part of our Shabbos every week, we sing the Shabbat, we sing Zichru Torahs Moshe. The Sabbath, when we disconnect to reconnect from the world and we're able to tune into our soul level just for one day. And now we have the mission of bringing that into 6 days of the week. We have the energy. Chodesh Tov, yes. Shalom, everyone. Amazing. People are tuning in. I'm getting a lot of good energy from our YouTube. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. Come on, guys. Where's the Facebook Chevra? Where's our friends over there? Don't worry. We'll get it out. We'll get it out. The message will go. Thank God. I know that on a deep level, all of you tune in and tune out because this is the reality we're in. But on a soul level, we're always tuned in. We're always connected. And that's the Emuna that I know by giving these words and saying Torah, even though I'm not in your person. And this is the reality of 2022. This is being real in an eternal way, that the Torah is eternal and the message is eternal and the connection is eternal. And if you're doing something positive, you're doing something good, it's a message of light. It's an energy of light. You're doing an act of kindness. You're becoming, say, like Ruth did for Naomi in reading this Shavuot and reading this Sunday, please God, in Shul. We're going to see the kindness she did for Naomi, for her mother-in-law. Yeah, she's going to see the kindness that Boaz did for Ruth. And that brought down the soul of Mashiach. That brought down the redemption for all the generations to come. Ultimately, the Messiah will come from the kindness, from the eternal acts of humanity, that they tune into the soul level. And these eternal acts are impacting us now. That's the reminder. We learn from Rabbi Nachman, this Hashgacha Shlema, this complete divine providence that takes place in a complete way, that binds us all up. And even if we feel for a moment, wait a minute, but I need more money, yeah? So comes Rabbi Nachman and says, Shavuos breaks the desire for money. The power of Shavuos, it breaks that need to have lots of money. So then you can have Emuna, and you can have trust and belief, true intrinsic belief that on your heart level that you know things are going to be for the good. And Hashem, your Creator, is never going to leave you without. Mafanes HaKol, there's no need to be jealous of anyone else because Hashem's always going to give you what you need. That's the concepts of Emuna that Rabbi Nachman and Rav Shalom Morish, our rabbi here, gives over on a daily level in all his Garden of Emuna books. And I did put up again another shout out for all the Garden of Emuna set. You can get it nice and cheap. It's available. We have the links on our WhatsApp group and we put it on all our platforms. Easy to get hold of the Garden of Emuna, the full set. And you can learn all of the Rav's books easy now. But the most important part, and this is what Nissim Black always says and Yosef Brown say, it's very important that you live the teachings. Not enough just to read them. You have to apply them. That means putting in the time for spodidus, putting in the time for real Emunah that really affects your life. This is the kind of experience. People were asking all kinds of questions to rabbis about Shavuos. How do I experience the Yom Tov? The most important thing is your relationship with God. You have a relationship with your Creator. That is it. Anochi Hashem Elokecha. That you're saying you're learning this Torah, but the Torah comes together with prayer. It's not, I'm only going to spend Shavuot learning and no relationship with God. Then you miss the whole point. The whole point is it's a communication, a relationship, back and forth. Torah, tefillah, kindness. These are having a meal together with your family, with your loved ones, bringing the unification into your life, bringing it into reality, bringing the Torah you're learning to affect your mind, unify your mind with God, unify your heart with God. This is the Torah, this is the spiritual truth that we're getting on Kabbalah Torah, that we're becoming one. The Sedibris, the 10 commandments, is 10 ways of impacting life. I brought a whole thing in previous classes. You go back to a year ago for these classes this time of year, and I spoke about the 10 habits of truly effective people to impact us in our business habits and impact in our daily. The 10 commandments should start to come down in 10 universal principles for all of us, for all of humanity. You don't have to become Jewish. You'd be B'nai Noach. It's fine. 7 mitzvahs B'nai Noach. You have 7 mitzvahs. Gavaldik, 7 habits. That's what Stephen Covey wrote about. I believe that's, and that was actually my most popular class. On all of our classes, even Rabbi Vosh, the most popular class in our podcast was when I brought down this concept of universal principles, the 7 habits, connected to the 7 mitzvahs B'nai Noach. Stephen Covey's merit, he gave over beautiful concepts. There's so many universal concepts nowadays that will clarify us and give us the ability to tune into this light of Kabbalah Torah. It doesn't have to be this high thing of learning all of Torah and all of Shas to be able to access this light. This light is available for everyone. The Baal Shem Tov HaKodesh, his shlichus, his mission was to bring the Yichud Shalom, to bring the ultimate unification to every single person, every simple person, the most simple, even you could call it someone who's clueless, to bring the unification to those people. That's really the key to bring Mashiach. That was the idea, that specifically from Rus, who came from such a far place, Moab, a nation that was rejected in some ways, because even in their name, Moab, they came from promiscuity. From the place of promiscuity comes Mashiach, Tamar and Yehuda, the 2 sons that passed away. We spoke about this once. The idea that comes from Ben Yehuda, and ultimately from Yehuda himself, comes the spark of Mashiach, comes from promiscuity. Yeah, someone's here is writing, how can you free us from the Klippas, Haman, and Amalek? Wow, that's Purim de Torah. Yes, we're back to Purim. Shavuos and Purim, actually there's a connection, a big connection, because Shavuos, it says in the Gemara in Shabbos, we received the Torah, Hashem put the mountain on top of us. But comes Purim, and it was Kimu v'Kiblu b'Kavab, what we receive, b'Ahava, love. And that's the Torah Shabbat Peh, the oral Torah. The written Torah and the oral Torah have to unite. That's the idea of the Shtei Lechem, the 2 cholas we eat on Shavuos, or the cheesecake and the milky meal and the fleshig meal, the meat and the cheese. Yeah, this idea of these 2 aspects, the twins, is bringing together these 2 aspects, the written Torah and the oral Torah. That is Shavuos and Purim. They come together, unite. And this is a very deep concept. This gets rid of any doubts. It gets rid of the doubts as Gematria Suffolk, is Gematria Amalek. It gets rid of all the doubts. People feel doubt, that disconnect between the mind and the heart. You have to unify your own being, align yourself, become more unified in how you understand the Torah Kedosha, that we're unified. The Torah is one, and our heart and mind have to unify. We have to unify our intellect and our emotions. We have to bring them together. Tanya talks much about this concept of Mayach Shalach al Alev, that the mind should rule over the heart and should be able to bring the 2 different parts of our heart, the good inclination, the not good inclination, bring it together to serve Hashem, to the point where the not good inclination becomes united with the Avodas Hashem and becomes bottled, becomes nullified. That's the idea. David HaMelech, he said he fasted so much then that he killed his Yetzer, his evil inclination, his left side of the heart. The negative aspects, he purified his whole being, but that he gave us tools through tefillah, through psalms, so we don't have to fast. Rabbi Nachman talks about this, a relationship with God. We don't have to fast and inflict our body. Shavuos is actually a time of tanug, of enjoyment, tanug amiti, true pleasure. These are real Torahs, not just concepts that, you hear a vort and you say a vort. This is machayav us. It makes us, in a deep way, our soul's obligating us to become more godly, to become more kind, to more empathetic, to overcome our initial drives. Yes, fasting and cheesecake somewhere wrong. Yeah, there is a certain aspect, like with the davening, there's a long prayer service, so you can say a long hallel, say a nice full hallel to praise Hashem. There's a certain aspect of time when we're not eating and we're praying and we're learning, and then we come back to the eating. You're right, chetzi lachem, chetzi Hashem. Half is for ourselves and half is for Hashem, but really it starts off chetzi Hashem, to begin with the davening, the prayer service, and the voda, and the learning, and then we come to Chetzi Lachem. Then we can enjoy. Once we've spiritualized ourselves, then we can enjoy the physical in a spiritual way. That's always that balance between the spiritual and physical. Also, those 2 aspects, to bring the 2 concepts into one, and that's the idea of uniting everything. The Tzaddikim, Rabbi Nachman, one of the big kedushas of Rav Yitzchak Morgenstern, talks about it. They call him Ichimaya. He brings down the concept of being miyached, your tefillah, and Torah together, the prayer service and how you pray should go together with the Torah you're learning. So you should daven your learning and learn your davening. It's a high thing. He talks about from Rabbi Nachman, the idea, and Rabbi Shemaiah Shlita should be well. But the concept on a practical level is that we're bringing unifications by just being a good bloke, as Rav Dainoga called me to my father, or being a mensch, as I heard Tim Ferriss say over to one of his friends. You have to be a mensch. The world knows this concept of being a mensch, being a good man. This is or a good woman or a good person. This is the concepts that we tune into. This is the Torah is meant to build us into beautiful people. That's real. That's eternal. Okay, I think I said a lot. I don't know if anyone out there has any questions before we sign out. I'm going to share this, and I want you guys to share it. You have to get these classes global, much more. The Shefa class, not good enough. It needs to go. You want a big divine abundance in your home? Share Emuna global. Show your true Emuna that you believe that Hashem's teachings need to go global. And you'll say, oh yeah, but what these classes are Hashem's teachings? I think so. I think with Hashem's help, we have no other choice to believe in the truth of what we're saying and eternity of what we're doing. We have to be Ma'amin. We have to believe. Get rid of that Amalek, as someone wrote. Get rid of the Haman. Get rid of the Hamantashen. And have clarity, the power, the eternity of Torah. When we're eating those cheesecake, think about that. Think about we're bringing together cheese and meat, not in the same meal, but in the same Yom Tov. We're bringing together the Torah Shabbat Peh, Torah Shabbat Ksav, the written and the oral Torah. We're bringing together the souls, the unification. At Har Sinai, we became Lev Echad, Ish Echad, became one being, one heart. We're coming together with the unification of Torah and mitzvahs. Torah and mitzvahs. We're coming together with unification between souls like David HaMelech and Rus, the convert and the descendant that would bring Mashiach. Would be David HaMelech Chai v'Kayam, and the Baal Shem Tov, who's a descendant from David HaMelech, and Rabbi Nachman, descendant from David HaMelech. These lights, where would we be without such light? So from the darkest place come the biggest light. From our darkest moments, from our most pain-filled moments that we're feeling right now, in this time of our life, all the different struggles we're going through, financially, emotionally, physically, spiritually, online, all the distractions. What's the point? That we have Emuna Shlema, that we know that Hashem, Hashgacha Shlema, is divine providence, with complete divine providence, is bringing everything together in a good way. It's going to bring ourselves into a good place. It's going to guide us. We believe in you, Hashem Yisbarach. Thank you. We thank you, Hashem, on Shavuos. We spend much time praising Hashem, thanking Him for this gift of Torah, and that will give us the strength to take it with us from Parshas Naso, for you guys out there, Bamidbar, whatever. We're all in the same Sefer now, Sefer Bamidbar. We're all in the desert together. We're in a place of humility, a place of wilderness. We're a little bit, finding ourselves, what our purpose, what our mission, what our reason, the etra, who we are, and what we're here to do. We're in the same space, all of us, globally, whether we're in Chutz La'aretz or in Israel, we're outside of Israel, or in Israel. Either way, we're all finding ourselves, we're all coming to Kabbalas Torah together to unite. And that's the concept that we have to bring to us. And one more thing, the most important thing Rabbi Nachman says on Shavuos, try look Agdamas. Try look at those words. Try pay attention before the Kohen makes his Birkas HaTorah. The Kohen, the priest, I'm also Kohen, with the Mamlechas Kohenim, we're all Kohenim, all the Jewish people are Kohenim and priests. But literally, I'm a descendant from Aaron Cohen. Amazing to think about. That before they make that blessing on the Torah, we read Akdamas, most important part of the service in Shavuos, according to Rabbi Nachman. The biggest gilui, this revelation of light comes down during Akdamas. Take a book in English. I have an art scroll one in the other room there, and I'm looking at it right now. Take those words and understand Akdamas. It's a very big journey of understanding what the Kabbalas Torah is about, what Shavuos is about, how to really internalize. That was something one of these speakers spoke about, and I 100% agree. That's the most important part of the service in some ways than anything. Anyway, everyone should have the strength to learn Torah with chizuk, with love, with simcha, with joy, to miyachad ourselves. Yes, someone else just reached me, Rosh Chodesh Sivan Tov. Eli, yes, thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing your love. Everyone out there, YouTube guys, you were stars today. I appreciate it. And it's on our Facebook. It's going to go hopefully eventually on our Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all the links, everything, wherever we can put it. And podcasts. Keep sharing all these different platforms. Build up the following. aiming towards our 10,000 on Instagram. Yeah, we're not far off. I want to get to that point where we've made it with, let's say 2,500 posts, to be optimistic, and made it to 10,000 followers, Baruch Hashem, together. I mean, it can start today. Everyone can just go viral and share Emuna everywhere. Ultimately, Hashem Yisbarach is using this tool, the internet, for us to be real and bring eternity to everything. And that's the power. Tadar Rabbah. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, my fellow friends who believe in this, who understand this important moment and are making this more important even than the Johnny Depp trial. Respect. Respect to you souls who know what's important in the world, or not binging Netflix instead of watching this. Thank you. It means a lot. Okay, all the love. Sharing Emuna Go, but check out all the links in the description. Make it big. Book those Unity bookings. Yeah, we've got some great news about who's coming soon. Yes, some love here from Bookmouse. Love the name. And yeah, I mean, I'll just give you a little bit of glimpse. Moshe Gersht, heard of him? It's all the same. We're going to be working with him, hopefully. And after Shavuos, I got a meeting with the Jewish Michael Jordan, Tamir Goodman. And I just met with Yoni Abadi today. He's works with awesome students. Did a shout out. He loves the Garden of Emuna books, especially the new ones, and gratitude. It's exciting. We have to have gratitude for what Hashem's given us. It's a big part of it. There's gifts. Hashem's giving us gifts, helping us through our difficult moments, through the Torah, through the ability to connect, and becoming more godly and becoming more kind. And with that, with all those three concepts of Torah, Yisrael, and Kutcher Baruch Hashem himself, we are our creator, we are becoming one, and that will bring the Gula Shlema b'Mehav Minute Amen. Thank you again for listening. Share this. Hope this was helpful. All the best.